Hello, hello. Welcome to Tia's Digital Tea Time. Sorry, I'm a little in a mess today. I'll have to tell you guys what happened. So, I got caught up reading a book. Zoe Blake came out with a new book today, and I had to read it right then, and so now I'm running just a little bit behind. Hi, Lene. I'm waiting for the author, T.L Hodel, to come in here, and hi, Selena. Of course, I'm a mess. Lene, Selena, of course I'm a mess because I'm hungover from last night. Hi Heather. I had awful bags under my eyes. So I'm like, I'm going to fix this by putting on a shitload of makeup to hide the bags because then at least I look like I did it on purpose. Hi, author Dylan. Hi, Lene. Oh, thank you, Lene. I'm still waiting. So, hi, so I know Tara will find me here shortly. So, and I was looking at Tara, and she's just, Tara, there you go. Let me see if you're in my thing here. I don't see your request to come on yet. Tara, just look below on your little bar and you should see a little guy holding another little like picture of a guy, and just press him and hopefully that will let you on. Thank you, Katina, Selena, Crystal. Yay, I'm so glad you guys made it. I'm waiting. We're trying to get, oh, thank you, Yangda. I appreciate that. I don't see her yet. Let's see if she, will make it. I'm looking, still no request. Okay, so she'll figure it out. And while I was doing that, I was telling you guys about a Selena Blake, or not Selena, a Zoe Blake book I read today. And, I'm not going to lie. I love those Russian. Oh, here she is. I love those Russian mafia books. And she had them out and I had to read it. And I read it in one sitting in one afternoon. Oh, thank you, Selena. I appreciate that. Just adding. So Tara should be here. Tara! Made it. How are you?
I'm good. I figured it out. Yay. I never figured this stuff out.
Oh, of course. I knew you were going to do it. I was like, oh, she's got this. I mean, that's why I always recommend that people use their smartphone, because I feel like people have such more trouble when it's their computer. And so I'm like, it's like Facebook recognizes that it's a smartphone. They're like, oh, it's a real live. Like they're really gonna, they're somewhere out there.
I tried it on my computer first. I'm like, yeah, I don't see the little guy. I'm just gonna go on there.
So everybody's saying hello to you. They're talking about the hot guys behind you in your pictures.
Yes, my wall of hot men.
Yes, I know who those hot men are because I've read your series. So, but you want to tell the watchers who these men are?
Well, these are from a new captive romance I'm doing.
Ooh.
Those are the Cardoza brothers. 4 of them. Over here we have Chase and Naomi from the MC series, and Preston kind of fell.
Oh, Preston, hi, baby. I like you. I like you.
And here's my Micah.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited. My goodness. I think about your series all the time. I finished reading your Wolves of now, what is, I always get the two confused. Is it Wolves first and then Ravens, right?
Order of Ravens and Wolves.
Damn it. I knew it. It's that MS. I read that series. I finished it a while ago, guys. For those of you just coming on, Tara writes bully romance, and I don't know if you guys know what bully romance is, so maybe we should start there. Tara, tell them what bully romance is.
Bully romance is that hot asshole guy who secretly likes the girl. Remember when you were a kid and your mom would always tell you, oh no, that boy likes you, that's why he's a prick? That's kind of what bully romance is, but like an older genre. Older version.
Yeah, and it falls under dark romance, and I think that's because it's usually not a traditional hero. He's more like almost like an anti-hero, right?
He's an anti-hero, and there's usually dub-con and non-con, like dubious consent and non-consent, because the girl is usually not into it. Hence bully, he's kind of an ass to her, so yeah.
But he gets her into it, and that alpha confidence draws her right in, right? And she's like, so tell them about your series, because I know I think about the series all the time, guys, because her world building is amazing as an author. I like.
Oh, thank you. It's a secret society kind of controls the town, the Order of Ravens and Moles, which I got from Norse mythology. Odin's ravens used to travel around the world and collect knowledge and spy on the mortals for him, and the wolves protected him. So I kind of modeled the society after that. The ravens are the intelligence. They collect the secrets and blackmail people and stuff like that. And Micah is due to be the next King of Kings who runs the order, like his dad. And because he's a prick, he decides that the girl he's going to marry is the same one that slaps him on the playground in front of all the other kings who embarrassed him, just so he can make her life hell.
I just want to interrupt you. In her story, her anti-heroes have to choose their future wife early in life. So when she's saying the girl slapped them on the playground, she means they're like 10.
Yeah, they were little. I think Riley was actually 5. And Micah, no, she was 6 and Micah was 8 at the time. And they don't necessarily have to choose younger, but they do have to have like a contract and all this stuff signed for the woman who's going to bear their child and marry them, so to say. Marriage doesn't necessarily mean love to them. It's all about creating the next line. Because Logan doesn't pick Shelby until book 2 when he's older. And there's only one other person who picked someone at a young age.
That is the story that you have been teasing your whole readership with. And we'll probably be book 10 before we figure it out. Personally, I have my theories, and I'm not going to say what my theories are because I always feel like as an author, I'm partial to certain cues that readers don't have. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. But third book, I thought was very revealing of where this was heading. And to why those two characters have a conflict. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh my. And I was just like, oh, this is such an amazing. But going to the series in general, so yes, secret society, a line of people who will take over, the kids do, and contracts in that, and anything to make this line continue on in the secret society. Hi, Gold Mary. Continue on. So what made you come up with this?
Well, I started writing After Effect for 2 reasons. I found a lack of, I love bully romance books. I love them. I love the dark romance, but I found that a lot of the times the guy would change from who he was to something softer. And I kind of always thought that if you are that person, you should be that person, maybe softer with her, but still an ass, so to say, to everyone else. So I started writing After Effect for that, and the secret society kind of just came as I started writing Riley and Micah. Yeah.
Well, people are talking to you in here. They really like the womb is mine vibes. I see them coming through on comments here. I don't know if you can see the comments, but I can. And I'm like, so yes, her heroes are picking the women. They don't have much of a choice in the matter as long as that contract's signed, and the contract is signed by any means necessary to get the people to sign that contract, which I loved. It's dark, guys. It's a little dark. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's so fascinating and gritty and sexy, and just I love it so much. And you are, as an author, everything I imagined you to be. You're beautiful, you're cool, you're like I'm sorry, Selena Michaels is distracting me with her comments. I'm trying to gush, Selena, and you're asking questions about birth control. Stop. No, I'm kidding, Selena. You know, she's like, Daryl's like, let me drink this here quick. Well, do you have a plan for how many books this series will be?
I actually have the next generation already planned. Yeah, I have them all planned. I know how many kids they're going to have, who's going to have them. You'll get all the main knights in the first series, and then in between that series and the next generation, you'll get a book with Junior, Finn, and their girl.
Oh my goodness. Now, I follow your group. I love it. You have dedicated readers who love your series just as much, if not more than I do. I mean, I love it, but you got like rabid readers. And I love how you ask them questions. And one of the questions you just asked, and I had to really think about it. I think it was you were asking why Mason and
Silas are
sorry,
best friends.
why are they best friends? Are you going to reveal, or are we all?
Well, Mason and Silas, they're the same age, so they went through all the same trials at the same time, through the order. But it is kind of like, they kind of complete each other. Silas is very controlled by his family. He has a famous mother and a governor grandpa, so he has to have this perfect image, which makes him uptight. And Mason does everything he can to make him not uptight. They just kind of bonded that way. They have more in common, which you'll find out in the next book, because that's Silas's book. And he's
sorry.
not.
I know it's not till next year. I think I actually did. It's up for pre-order. I think I pre-ordered it.
I just put it up for next year as a just in case. I want to get it out this year. Yeah. But he's not as shy or laid back or nice as some people might think he is. He's actually quite mean.
Oh my God, he's a sadist.
He's quite mean.
Still
Yeah.
my heart. I cannot wait to read this book. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm gushing. I know as an interviewer I'm supposed to be professional, but I'm such a fan of Tara's work. I love her so much. And I can't
Carmine in the Captive Romance series is like a sadist mixed with a sociopath. So he is, yeah.
So author Dylan Page is asking, he's actually quite mean. She says, are you surprised by
Actually, Dylan does sprints with me, and she'll hear me evil cackle when I do something to one of the characters, so she knows. Now, she'll actually say, what did you just do? Yeah.
Now, I just want you to know, we have a lot of streetlit readers who are watching this right now. For those of you in the streetlit, if you had to ever leave your genre to read something similar but not and just as interesting, dark romance, especially bully romance, I think would be comparable in some ways to what you read in street lit romance with these kind of thuggish anti-heroes who fall in love, except instead of thugs you got school bullies, or but that same drive and arrogance and stopping at nothing to get what they want is present in the love story. So those of you who read streetlit romance, especially those coming over from Katari's Pen is Lethal, thank you guys for attending tonight. And please do check out Tara's work, because I think if you were going to make it that drop or that hop over, this would be a good bridge right here with Tara's book. So.
After Effect kind of shocked me. I didn't think people would like it as much as they did. So
now that's third, right?
After Effect is the first one. Happenstance is much tamer. Parker was a much nicer anti-hero than the other two.
Yes, and I noticed that, and you know what? I'm not going to lie. I was surprised, but I kind of digged it. I digged her. I don't want to give it away, but maybe for those who haven't read it, hopefully you will understand what I mean. He's pretty much like, we can do this the hard way, or we can do this an easy way. And the heroine, she's mixed race in this story, right? Mixed race. She kind of looks and she's like, can we just do it the easy way? And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Because I really thought we were going to be like, the drama of having to do it the hard way, which is what the other heroines did. And it was nice to be able to explore a different kind of heroine who was kind of like, I'm going to go along for the ride. Let's just see where this goes. And I love that about that. So
I just kind of follow where they take me.
Hi, Mom. My mother is here.
Hi.
So this is Tara, and she writes bully romance. My mom's 80. I don't think she understands. Bully romance is exactly what it says it is. It's like hers are like high school bullies who fall in love, and it's great and it's amazing. And
I didn't think my aunt would like it. She shocked me when she messaged me and said, I'm reading your book. I'm like, are you sure? Did you read the warning in the front? Because she's church group and Yeah, I expected her to come over and try and exercise me after she read it, but no, she's just mad that there's not more Lewis in the last book. Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're writing fast enough personally. I think like, you know, I want to, I know that EJ Frost, I think, is one of your writing coaches. I think she's all of our writing coach, right? She keeps us going.
Yeah, she is.
She needs to get on you more. I'm like, you know, I'm like, write faster. We need
Well,
those
the
whips going. You know?
interesting fact is that first chapter, not the prologue, but the first chapter with Micah when he sneaks into the room with Riley sleeping, wouldn't exist if it wasn't for EJ.
Really?
She told me I needed another Micah chapter.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. There. Oh, that Selena is like EJ with the whip. You know, I think, you know, she writes littles and submissive, but I think she's actually a dominant. Doesn't know, she's like a switch. She doesn't know it. We're all the submissive. She's like our mommy dom.
She is, yes.
Because I know she told you had to do this interview, right? Because I think you were like, EJ says
She told me you have to do more interviews, so I watched the interview with you and EJ, and I'm shy on camera. I Dylan says I don't seem shy, but I'll pee like 100 times before I come on. So.
I'm doing that, and I'm not shy. But I'm 42 with that. Yeah, I'm always peeing, but.
I think it comes with age because, yeah, I'm 42 too, so yeah.
I know. That's okay. I don't feel that old. And I think we had this discussion about why I found your characters relatable. So if you're Gen X, I feel like you'll love her series because these are really the people we went to high school with. A lot of us did. And that kind of abusive love stories that everybody had in the 90s. You know, I
I don't think
like,
anybody had a healthy relationship as a
people.
Teenager in the 90s. Just
yeah. I know, right? So, you know, I think some of the younger millennials might be like, I don't quite understand the bully romance, but I'm like, oh, this was just life in the 90s. Yeah. So, and so it was, you know, I love your work. All right, so tell us about the next series, the gentleman.
Oh, okay. The Captive Romance. It's called the Deviant House series. The four Cordoza brothers kidnap and train sex slaves for auction. They take like special orders. So some guy will contact them and say, I want a redhead that does this, or I'm a sadist and I want this. So they'll take special orders. Lorenzo, who is this one, who's the hero anti-hero in the first book, he every once in a while takes a vacation where he takes a girl that's for him, his pet that he can play with and train and do whatever he wants till he decides to sell her, and then he sees Kaya, and he decides she's his next vacation. There's other reasons why he chooses her and why he takes her. There's friction between him and Carmine, and Jackson, the older brother, who is taking care of the business, is trying to branch out. So they have a few slaves there at the house for like customers who come and see, and they kind of keep them there for 2 years, and then they'll, you know, sell them and get new ones, in-house ones. But Jackson wants to start training just general pleasure slaves to branch out into other auctions. So that's kind of what's happening while he has Kaya in the first book. Yeah.
This is very dark here. So we're really going into the non-con or non-consent world here with this. Now, are they picking these girls randomly? Are they just like, oh, she's pretty, or do they fit a profile? Or
sometimes if they get a certain order for a girl, like I want a blonde who's tall, or a specific girl in particular, they'll go for them. But a lot of times they'll stumble across someone and think, you know, she could make a good submissive, or we could train her for this, and so it kind of depends, I guess, on both. Most of the ones they just take are the in-house slaves, and they only have 5 in-house slaves, and one of them is male.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, knowing it's non-consent, for those of you who do understand that these are slaves that don't want to be, at least not initially, slaves, is this but these are love stories?
Yes.
So, so this is going to evolve into some form of love story with these characters. So, what made you think this is the next series I'm going to write?
I always wanted to go really dark, and there's only so dark you can go with a bully romance.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Kai and Lorenzo just kind of started talking to me one day, and I actually have a family member that was forced into the sex trade, so I kind of know a bit about that world already. Um, so it just kind of fit to do it together.
Now, um I know you'll have the warnings out, so
Yeah.
for people who do it. Do you expect pushback from your bully romance readers on this, or do you think they'll slide into this next series with the same love?
I don't know. I think some will read it and some won't. I'm never hid the fact that it'll be darker. And I'll always have a trigger warning. If it can possibly trigger PTSD, I will have a trigger warning for it. If
Yeah,
it's for cheating or sharing, I won't. I feel there's a certain point where you draw the line on trigger warnings. And if it can trigger somebody's post-traumatic stress, definitely make
yeah,
sure they know that that's going to be in there. Yeah.
yeah. Now,
Um,
for people watching this who might be, because like I just saw Samaya come on here, who she works at a domestic abuse women's shelter. Of course, we are in the realm of fantasy.
yeah.
Tara does not actually support the sex traffic trade.
No.
I just
No.
want to put that out there
No.
for those who might be watching this. She, like all authors, is always honing and pushing herself in her craft. And hi, Samira. And her craft has taken her into a darker realm. And there's readers out there who love this. Again, those readers don't want to necessarily support sex trafficking in the real world,
Yeah.
but in the fantasy of it, maybe they're victims themselves and they want to, I once had I think I've talked about this before, a therapist who told me I romanticize sexual violence in my stories, and that because of my own traumas. And but I don't shy away from that. That maybe that is true, maybe it's not. But I still enjoy the books, so I'm going to read them. And so I think readers who do read these dark things, whether they have had that experience themselves or not, you'd be surprised who reads them anyways. We just saw that discussion on the dark romance taboo. Did you see that one where the woman was saying, I was molested and I love these books and I have to read these books. I'm hyper, there was a group post, and the sheer amount of women who had similar experiences who were like, me too. I also shared in this either molestation, rape, sexual violence, abuse, whatever. And I also love these books and don't feel ashamed for loving these books because we all love these books. And I think which was one of the things I love about that group is the support system for those who do enjoy dark romance, and some of them want it as dark as it can possibly get.
Yeah. It's the same as like kinks.
Yeah.
Some people have rape fantasies, and other people have the total power exchange kink, and golden showers, and I can't remember what they're called. They dress up like animals. Furries.
Oh,
Furries? Furries, yes. Right? Same with the daddy little. Like it's a kink kind of. Just a darker kink, right? Yeah. And I don't think there should be shaming for anything that anybody's into,
exactly.
regardless of what they like.
Exactly. And so I know, like I said, for those coming on, especially those coming from the street lit side or just traditional erotic romance, which is what I write mostly. See, I don't really write dark romance. The darkest I got was the book I just put out, which was like an urban street lit erotic romance about a pimp. And he's a daddy dom pimp. It's actually like a cuddly pimp. And that's about as dark as I got. That's probably the darkest I've ever, and I write BDSM in that. But, I would say it's my guilty pleasure, but I'm not actually guilty about it. But I love reading dark romance. I love it. I love reading. Like I said, your characters come into my mind quite often. Like I don't know if it's because I'm triggered by seeing you on Facebook, but I'm like, God, I really love that book. I wonder if I should read that book again.
Oh, thank you.
You know, and I do this with a lot of books. I have OCD, so sometimes I obsess and I get stuck reading a series. And I did this for Zoe Blake. I'm always going back to her. Did you ever read her series, the Dark Obsession series from Zoe Blake? No. Okay, so she's got this series. The first book's Ward, the second book's Gilded Cage, and the third one's Toxic. And it's like this 3-book series about this girl and this guy, and it's a mind fuckery. That's all it is. I mean, like it's you know, and I got stuck on it that I read all 3 books every day for 3-4 days in a row, and I could not get myself out of. I had to keep reading it. It was like I'm not ingesting this properly. Let me try again. I gotta read it. And I do that, and I'm like that. I did that with DJ Frost's book. I think I did that with your book. The first 2. No, I know for sure the first one exactly, you know, because I was like, wait, I gotta reread that. Let me see what happened. did I miss something? Because you know I have that mess, like something like this. I'm like, because I really loved it. Let me go back, and I always find something I did miss. You know, I think it's a clue. You know, like you get, you know, as an author, you put clues in, and maybe as a reader, you gloss over that clue. But when you read it the second time, you're like, oh, that was my clue that this is going to happen later in the book. And that could also be why I go back, and my OCD is like, you should have seen that coming. Let's go back.
I've done that with books too. Yeah.
So I do love it, but yeah, it's I love the dark romance genre, and it's been what I've been reading lately, a lot of that and street lit, because like I said, I feel like these two are comparable. I love the anti-heroes of the street lit as well. And so, you know, I feel bad. I've like abandoned my normal romance books that I'm like, I went to the dark side. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't. I had such a jaded view of romance books because I grew up on Harley Quinn romance. You know, Fabio on the front cover, or VC Andrews was as dark as it got, and I thought they were still like that until I stumbled across a dark romance book, and I'm like, oh. And then I started reading more and more, and I probably absorbed about 100 books in a month before, because I had started writing a PNR first. So I have a PNR that I wrote.
Paranormal, for those who
yes,
don't know the lingo.
paranormal stories. And that's not out yet. I'm going to rework it and put it out. But I wrote that before I wrote After Effect, and realized that I can write about the stuff that I wanted to. So yeah.
Now, I do love your titles because, you know, one part of me looks at them and I'm like, that's supposed to be a space there, but you never put the space there in your title. And I love that because it's so bold. Why? Why were you like, no, fuck that space?
Yeah. One word.
One word.
I have all the titles picked out for the rest of the series. So.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do. Like, how many years will it take you to write all this? I'm dying. I don't know what to do.
I think, well, I want for sure to have Silas's book out this year. I'd like to get the next one out this year, but it'll probably realistically be out January.
Okay.
And then there's one more left for this series, and then Junior and Finn in between. So I'm hoping to have them all out by the end of next year. I have a couple of other projects. I signed up for a couple of collaborations.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
I have a couple of those coming out. And yeah, the MC series and the captive romance. Yeah. So
now, tell us about what your life is like a writer. Like, what how's your day go?
I wake up and drink lots of coffee and write almost all day, unless I'm helping the kids with homework. My kids are older, so I don't have to, you know, they actually feed me most times. I forget to eat, so they'll cook for me. Yeah. And then I kind of go to sleep. My life is writing. I wake up and write, and then, yeah.
Now, do you use a personal assistant or something to do your promotions and that, or?
I have PAs that handle Instagram for me because Instagram scares me. Most technology does. So yeah, and I have
But
a
you did
PA
so
for
good. Look, you found your way on the live today. You did
I
so
did.
I think you did great. I feel you.
Yeah,
I just hired one myself because I'm spending way too much time on social media and not writing like I'm supposed to be.
and that's what I was doing, spending way too much time. I try and personally interact with anyone who comments or something on Instagram. I'll try and personally like the comment or say thank you. Facebook, my Facebook group, though, I kind of handle everything in there. I do takeovers myself unless I'm sick. And Julia, yeah, helps me with Facebook too. She calls me chaos.
Well, I was just, because I'm like, I have to do something. I still got 2 contracts I got to finish, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't even.
That's
Like,
what I did. I was writing scar tissue, and I found myself spending more time trying to respond to everything and take care of everything than I was writing. So that's when I first said, help, I need a PA. First
and that's,
hired.
I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna still do my group and stuff. But you're right. I have neglected my Twitter. I have neglected Instagram. I have neglected, like, I don't go on Goodreads too often anyway. But like, we is. I don't even bother with half the time, and I'm like, I got to do something because I want to interact with my readers, but I don't want to have to go searching groups and that for like events and all these
Yeah.
kind of things. I just needed someone to organize all these things for me, and I don't know if I'll make enough to, you know what I mean, but I'll do it just to make my anxiety better. I'll pay the money.
Oh, it's so hard. It is. It's hard to keep track of everything. I forgot to do my newsletter one month. Just completely forgot.
At least you have one. I don't even have a
Yeah.
newsletter.
Oh, I have BookBub, and Julia still gives me trouble because she'll ask me if I've updated BookBub. The only thing I have on there right now is After Effects. I haven't been on it since I first opened it up. I forget it's there.
I'm
Twitter.
gonna have to pay like the money and hire mine full time possibly. I need to make more money off these books to make my costs balance out. Even if I don't make a profit, just so it balances out, because I'll be okay even if I balanced out.
There's so much. EJ's been after me for Twitter forever. Twitter scares me.
I used to be on Twitter all the time. I just couldn't get those interactions to translate into sales. And Selena says newsletters give me anxiety. I
Well,
you
me
know
too.
I see the power of newsletters, not from my own, but EJ Frost's newsletters are powerful. Like, I got extra clicks and stuff just because she featured me one day in one of her. Oh, thank you, Gwen. Gwen's my PA, my new PA. I just hired her yesterday.
Gwen.
I'm already too dependent on her already. I can already tell, like I said, and I only got her part-time. I'm like, shit, do I need to start putting out that extra money and get her full-time? Because I just don't know. I was like, help me. She's like,
Julia's my momager, so yeah.
this is awful. This is the new like life as an author, independent author. It's like, we don't have publishers, we have PAs.
Yeah, we have
You know.
PAs. Yeah.
So, it's been amazing that I've enjoyed, like I said, your work. I'm grateful to EJ because it's through her. She recommended you. That is actually how I came across your
I
book.
love EJ.
Because I asked one day on my group, not long after our interview, and I was like, give me the recommendations, and she gave me a list of people, including, I think Selena was in there, you were in there, and I think there's some other ones that I just haven't gotten to yet. I'm going to start reading them soon. Actually, I did start one of them, one with an ogre. Who is that? Dude, MS brain fog. Anyway, like, she gave me a list of authors. And so I went and bought all the books. I mean, I know people need Kindle Unlimited, and I'm never fault anybody, but if I can help it, I try to buy, because I sometimes don't trust Amazon to pay the authors properly for the books, so at least I know if I buy it, you're getting paid as an author, like, because I'm an author, and so I know when I buy your books, I'm like, oh, she got paid for all 3 copies. I bought these, but I have given my credit card a workout. I am not gonna lie. these last couple months. But I've been reading them all. It's not like I'm even just buying them, like when we used to go to bookstores and buy a bunch of books and they maybe got read. But I'm actually reading them. I love all the street lit and dark romance and taboo romance that I've been picking up. So
I miss reading. I've had Sicko on my to be read list for ever since it came
I'm
out. I haven't had a
scared
chance
of
to read it yet.
Sicko.
I love Amo Jones.
Oh.
I'm not at all mad at her for making Maddie wait to read the journal.
I haven't read. There's a couple. It's that one, and is it Sick Fuck? Is that the other one that everybody's been talking about? Like,
Sick Fuck, I think, yeah.
and there's
The
like,
book that I always reread is King by T.M. Fraser.
really dark, oh, like really.
No, actually, it's like a bully romance, you could say, with a little bit of captive, like Takes Girl, but the sex actually doesn't take place until it's consensual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then when we get off, you'll have to definitely put some of your recommendations then into the thing. So we, the people reading or watching you right now, can go back and look at what it is you like to read, and and of course your own books as well, which I love. I wish I only read Kindle, but I'm gonna start buying the print books so that when I do interviews, I can be like, look, these are the books. Yeah.
We have print books here behind me on the shelf.
Why don't you show some of your beautiful covers? Because my mom even was talking about how hot your covers were, and she's 80. I love it. That's the first book number 1.
And I have Logan.
Oh, book number 2. Look at that.
He's so pretty.
Now, how did you pick your covers? Did you make them or did you hire or?
I use Mayhem Cover Creations. Okay. So Micah and Logan, I described to her what the character looked like, and she found those pictures. Press Parker, happenstance, I actually got a photographer and a model from Michelle Lancaster.
Oh.
That's actually one of her photographs on his cover.
Oh.
And I'm going to go through her for the other ones. I have all the models picked out too. So.
Oh my goodness. Now, so for those who are watching, tell them how popular is bully romance, because I know it's a genre that people don't always admit to reading, but you're as an author, you're obviously writing is it is it worth your time? Or are you doing it for the love? Is this a labor of love, or are you like, no, there's so many sales, I keep writing it?
No, it's a labor of love. I write the stories that come to my mind. Like there's controversial sharing scene in After Effects that a lot of people didn't like, but other people do. And I write the story as it comes, and that's how it came. And I'll always stay true to the characters. So, if it's not popular, it's not. Bully romance is a popular genre, though. I feel a lot of dark romance is, but it's more of like an under the cover popular genre.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I was kind of curious because I don't write it, so I can't say like I write it and I make a lot of sales, but you wouldn't know it because I have 0 reviews. It wasn't like one of those kind of things. I have 0 reviews, and my sales reflect my 0 reviews. So I was kind of wondering like how popular is it, because you can't always tell by looking at, okay, well, this book has reviews or it doesn't have reviews, or it has some reviews, but they were which I hear Amazon's cracking down on, ARC reviews or whatever. And so,
well, it's popular. It was made, I think, Penelope Douglas, she wrote the book Bully, and I think hers was kind of like the first big bully romance. So you could kind of consider her the start of the whole genre. I know she's really popular, and Edie Reed is really popular. I think it kind of depends on the author and the story, right?
Yeah. Now, you chose the setting of high school for your first series. Why high school and not college? Like, I notice a lot of the authors go for like the college level a lot of times too, or
I couldn't see a college girl falling in line with contracts
Okay.
or a secret society. Like a secret society maybe in a college, but they also wouldn't be able to control everyone there because there's people that come from out
So
of
you feel like in this case, her
state.
age and lack of maturity worked against her in getting her in line with the hero,
Yeah.
and so therefore she had the opportunity to fall in love because she didn't know better.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Which is kind of what I feel like happened to me in my teen years. I didn't know better. I couldn't
Yeah, didn't know better. Young
didn't
and
know
dumb,
better.
I was. My first boyfriend showed up in front of my house on a motorcycle, and that's when I fell in love. So,
my my first real boyfriend, I don't even, my mom's watching, I don't even know if she realizes how I met Steve. He had just gotten out of jail, mom, and he picked me up on the side of the road with Maurice, which is so funny, which was the neighborhood drug dealer that had and I was like 15. They're like, you want to ride? I'm like, sure. And with the ride took me to an abandoned housing complex that they were building, you know, like the houses, and we all, I think Sarah was there, we went drinking. The 90s, people, it was the
yeah, it's
90s.
the
So it didn't
90s.
have cell phones or nothing. Mom's like,
No.
I remember him.
I dated the same guy. He got out of jail and was coming to visit his sister, who was my best friend. I was 14 and he pulled up on a motorbike, and that was it. I was done. I was in love. He went back to
And
jail
now
while
we're
we were
reading them,
dating.
and you're writing them, and I'm just reading them. I was like, I know these people. I know these people. Oh my God, this is so funny. So, what do you do when you're not writing anything, or is writing your life, or I mean, you said kids.
I made a dollhouse. People have called it the domestic violence house because all the furniture has fallen inside.
Oh,
Yeah. I like doing little crafts. I got some resin, so I'm playing with that. Maybe I can make little necklaces or something for swag. But yeah, I like crafts. Play with my kids. Well, I don't really play with them anymore. We kind of have this ongoing war of who can scare who can jump out and scare each other. Um, my daughter is, what do you call it, determined to scare me. She has yet been unable to do this. And I don't know why, because I'll literally turn around and scream because someone's standing behind me and I didn't know they were there.
and
But she'll
how
hide
old
and
is your
jump out.
daughter?
She's 11.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. So she'll hide and jump out and it won't scare me. So she has a new goal in life is to make mom jump because I do it to her all the time. Um,
she like horror movies and stuff too. Are you guys a horror
she
movie
does.
watchers?
Yeah, I love horror movies. We go to HorrorCon every year.
Oh wow,
Mhm.
that
She's
sounds
a big
fun.
Freddy Krueger fan. Um, she went the first time we took her, Andy from Child's Play was there with Chucky, and she was so excited to meet him, but her face turned beet red when she saw him and he's holding the Chucky doll. She couldn't say anything. She didn't talk to anyone. I can't remember what the actor's name was. He played Jason Voorhees in one of the Friday the 13th movies. This huge guy. He gave her a Jason mask and signed it. And then once she put that on, she could talk to people. It was the most
Oh,
adorable
that's so
thing.
sweet. Oh. Like,
That's my roommate. But
oh my
yeah,
goodness.
so they go to that every year. They didn't have it this year because of COVID. They closed it down.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Well, now may I ask what area this conference is in case I ever want to attend? Like,
We're in Calgary, Alberta,
oh,
and
that's right, you're in
they,
Canada. I always forget that. That's right.
yeah, I'm in Canada. Yeah. So they have it there. They have way better horror cons in the States than they do up here.
Really?
It's still small up here. Comic Con's pretty big, in Calgary. Taryn got to meet Stan Lee. So,
Oh,
you know,
rest his
meet him.
soul.
She has no idea who he is. I tried to explain it to her at the time, but she's like, I don't
Did you
understand.
show her his cameos in all the Marvel movies?
I did. It's not cluing into her how,
Oh, yeah.
I guess to her, it's not as a monumental moment as it is to me, who grew up reading the X-Men comic books and Spider-Man and stuff. So,
Like,
yeah.
you're like, excuse you, be excited.
Yeah, yeah, be excited. She was more excited to meet Chucky than anything else. So, yeah.
That's so funny. Now, do you think you'll ever branch off into like erotic horror? Or?
I might. I might have something planned.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, look, it's like I'm psychic. It must be the author. That's why I said I can't even talk about like where plot points are because like as an author, I feel like I see, ahead.
I have a dark vampire book planned because I want a book where the vampire is the vampire, he's a monster, right? The girl doesn't fall for him because he smells good or
He doesn't
monster.
glitter.
He doesn't glitter. No, he doesn't glitter.
Now, is this kind of like, like when we all were growing up, again, the 90s, you remember us reading the Anne Rice, watching Anne Rice, and even watching like Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I think all of us were kind of like, why not her falling, like we were like, why haven't you just said yes already, right? So
yeah.
This is what you're wanting to write, this horror.
Yeah. More traditional monsters. I miss the traditional monsters in movies and stuff, Wolfman and
Yes.
Dracula, like the traditional monsters.
That's true.
That.
And for those of us who maybe didn't even like bestiality, we all watched Bram Stoker's Dracula and was like, that's fucking hot, right? With the werewolf, we all thought that. Mm-hmm. And and sometimes I look at the covers. Who's making those covers right now? That's Selena, who's your publisher right now?
Meryl?
Yes, Meryl.
I just got a cover offer.
Did you really? I have one too, and I have to write something for it. But I just saw like her like wolf cover and whatever the ones.
She's amazing.
I know, right? And I was like, can I write? Am I about to leave my erotic BDSM, domestic discipline, romance genre to go start writing dark horror bestiality books? I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be going towards street lit and urban. Now I keep looking at those covers for Meryl, and now I'm like, did you see that alien cover, the blue guy? I was like, and they're so cheap. In my opinion, for what she put into it, these handcrafted, beautiful monster covers, sexy monster covers, you're like,
gorgeous,
$45.
Yeah,
$55. I'm like. Now I know that's just the e-cover, but not everybody does print covers. I rarely do print covers, So, Meryl will be the reason I write PNR. That's Selena. I want that wolf. I know we all want that wolf. We're all looking at it. I can't believe she put it up. I'm surprised that you sold already. I'm like,
that's a nice wolf. I like that. I have a werewolf in my PNR. It's not dark. My PNR isn't dark though.
No. Well, I mean, you're gonna have the vampire one come in. You said that's gonna.
Yeah, that one will be dark.
I can't wait. When are you gonna write that one? You think?
I started it, but I kind of put it aside until I'm done. The two that I have now, and then I have to start on Silas's book because I think if I make my readers way too long, they might find me. So.
Dude, I feel that way. I'm like, write faster. I don't know what I have to. What can I do to help you? I'm also an author. Like, do you need a beta read? Do you want me to edit? I'm a terrible editor right now. Do it. I can try.
I love my editor. Oh, he's great. It took me a while to find him. The first editor I had for After Effects didn't work out so well, but yeah, I've got a great editor now.
And you have a street team too, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know what a street team was. This is horrible. My PA, Julia, asked me, where's your street team? I'm like, what's a street team?
I didn't really know until recently when I saw a call out for street team members. I'm like, what?
So she did all, that's all her. Mm-hmm.
Like Selena says, I'll hop on sprints with you. Now, I have a sprint coming up with, I just read one of her books. She writes the very sadistic college books. And you paired me up with her for the 26th.
Vivian.
Yes. Okay. So I just read like her first, and I'm ready to read the second one, which is the Bravita's Brat or something like that.
Yeah, Bravita's Brat. Yeah.
That's it. Okay. And I read that book, and I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, I read it it because I'm thinking I gotta write with her later, and I'm like, oh shit, because I write BDSM too, but she writes like S&M. I write more like, the DS. She's writing the SM, and so I
She's
was
so sweet. Vivi is so sweet.
give me 1 sec. I need to grab my plug real quick. I guess I didn't charge my phone like I was supposed to. 1 moment. Okay, here I'm back. I only got, we're 8 minutes till end of our thing. So what do you want readers to know? Like,
I don't know.
About you, your work, like, if you had to tell them something you wish that they knew,
I'm horrible with thinking about stuff.
Okay, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, well, I think a lot of times people say things like, I think when someone asked me that question, like for me, it was more like I just wanted people to know that I wish they would try new things. Like, I know I write discipline, for example, and I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. But, sometimes I think if you read outside your box, you might discover you enjoy it. And I feel this would be the same for you. People would just give the bully romance genre a chance.
They'd see they might enjoy it. I've actually had a few people say it's not something they typically read, but they enjoyed it. Don't be afraid to try new things, and it's okay to not like something.
Yes.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm big on that. Like, I know some people get mad when other people don't like book. It's okay for people not to like things. I don't expect everyone to like my book. Read what you enjoy. Try new things. It's the only way you'll find stuff you really like.
Right. And look at RN's like live writes or the author's sport, and you get to write with Vivi. So lucky. I hope so. I hope I don't like let her down. She's gonna be like, Tara, who is this chickie? But
No, Vivi's great. She's great. I just did a live write with Dylan.
Oh, there you go. How did that go?
Oh, good. Yeah, it went good. I'm always nervous when I do them, but yeah, it went good. It's like a writer sport. It gets your mind going and your blood kind of pumping.
I read some of them. I think I read the one you sent me, and I thought this is so cool.
Mhm.
I got to start putting notifications, so because I never remember shit, nothing. Like without the notifications, that's why I had to have.
Julia has a calendar app that reminds me of things, and it'll like go off every 5 minutes, an hour before I have something coming up. She knows that I'll forget.
This is your life writing with Vivi. Just relax, use lots of lube, and whatever happens, happens. That's all they're doing. I don't know if she watches Rick and Morty, but that just reminded me of that Rick and Morty episode.
Oh God, I love that show. Rick and Morty.
So the episode with the Mr. Jellybean, and she's like, just go with the flow. I just read the comment, just relax with the lube, use lots of lube, and go with the flow. I just saw Mr. Jellybean pop into my head when I read that.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
aw, like poor Morty. I feel like that's gonna be me. Just go with the flow.
I love Rick and Morty.
So,
I haven't watched them in a while either.
Oh my God, I watch them, no lie. And you ask my husband, tell her every night, right? Every night. I go through the same 4 seasons every night. I cannot sleep without it.
I do that with Raising Hope.
Oh, really?
I love that show. I laugh so hard.
I can't wait for the next season 5 Rick and Morty. I ain't gonna lie, because I know these episodes by heart. I'm like, and maybe this is my confession. I'm on like 20 Rick and Morty groups, and I sometimes make memes, and some of my memes have actually gone like kind of viral. I don't ever sign them, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Rick and Morty memes, I love them because I'm a graphic artist, kind of. At least I can with Rick and Morty memes. I make like. I put like pickles and things, and I
think I'm scared to get involved in other series after what happened with Game of Thrones.
I stopped watching Game of Thrones after the first season. I just couldn't take it. I was so hurt when they killed that. I was like, no more.
I watched them all, but it's like I don't know what happened in the last season. Literally, there's Starbucks cups left in the shot and water bottles. It's like they just gave up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
I heard that in that the character arc wasn't right. Like all of a sudden, she just wasn't the same character. Yeah,
Yeah, she
I
just
heard
like
that.
turned evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
my eyes are
Is
watering from laughing so hard.
oh, it's great.
That's just like, well, um, thank you guys for the advice for writing with me. I will go with the flow. It's just that's what ventures are. We have to make
Oh,
that meme
baby's
now.
she's so sweet. So yeah, she'll definitely make you feel comfortable. She's so sweet.
Well, I look forward to that. So, guys, I hope you will, TL Hodel's, uh, what's your group name? It's Ravens. Like it's
Yeah, the Murder of Ravens.
there you go. She has a reader group. You guys got to join it. It's amazing and fun. When I have a couple key groups that I love, and yours is actually one of them.
Well,
And the Selena's like, I never watched the last season of Geo. You didn't miss anything from
don't
here.
don't ever watch it. Forget they ever made it and just let it end with the season before that.
You heard her, Selena. Don't do it.
Don't do it. No.
Don't do it.
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. All I gotta do is, well, I'm so happy you came on here with me tonight, and I'm so grateful for you. I know you say you're shy, but you came on anyway. You braved it. You came and hung out with me for an hour.
I
I
did.
loved it. I had such a great time. I'll have to do it again. I've been also
I had a
doing.
great time with you too. It's like talking to a friend, so I wasn't as nervous.
Oh, thank you. I tried to, I'm starting to wonder if like the other interviewers who are out there like got you interviewers because everybody's like, I'm kind of scared, like I'm going to ask something that they don't want to, talk about it. And I'm like, look, I will never, if I ask something someone doesn't want to answer, just deflect it. I will not push it. Like, I'm not trying to catch somebody in something or, we're
Well,
just
with
having
me, it's just
fun.
I think it's hard to talk about yourself, so it's kind of hard to go on and yeah,
Oh,
that's with
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Well, I just started a new thing. Author Dylan Page, if you want an interview, feel free to PM me. I've done Selena in an interview. I've done EJ as well. I'm always taking authors who want to just come hang out and chat about their books and chat about the romance industry, but whatever. To catch a
Dylan's book
romance
is
author.
great, and the second one's coming out soon.
Oh, there you go. And then I've actually just started this new one. I don't know if you got to see it last night, but I just started a new thing called Booze and Books Reader Spotlight, where I go on with like just a reader, someone's reader. It doesn't have to be my reader. And last night it was Dakari's like favorite. She loved her name's Lene, she's in here somewhere. She loves King Dakari's books, and so she came on last night to talk about why she loved his books and that. But it's called Booze and Books because we start drinking like a lot. Like I had so much vodka last night. By the time I got off, I was drunk, and I woke up, which is why I also had I was saying the black eye makeup to kind of hide today's
I
hangover.
did the same thing, try to hide, the bags. I think they're permanently there because when I can sleep, the characters won't shut up. So, yeah.
Oh, well, I think it's great. Well, so for those of you who don't want to come on as an author, I will also take readers, is what I'm saying. And if you have a favorite author you want to come tell me about, maybe it's Tara. If it's Tara, come on and we'll grab some drinks. I'll get my vodka out. You get your wine or vodka, whatever, and you tell me about why you love your favorite author's books, and I will listen. And it's been fun. I already got like 3 or 4 like lined up already. Like people were like, yes,
Oh,
I'm a reader and I want to talk about my favorite author. And I'm excited. And I think I might become an alcoholic. Because I put the booze first. So I was like, well, they're like, you're drinking a lot. I'm like, well, the booze is before the books. Like, that's the main part of this.
great.
So I will also do that for those of you who like to have a drink and talk about your favorite books. And Tara, and always most welcome. Please promote on my group. Tell me all about your books. I love you. I love your work. I want my readers and those in there to learn more about your stuff. So please go post links. Just whatever you need to post. I tried to spam the world today with today's interview. The graphics.
I saw that. I love the graphics. Oh, they're so
Oh,
cute.
thank
I
you.
wish I could do stuff like that.
Well, if you need something, let me know. I tried to do some that, didn't have all the information in case you ever want to use it, and of course I always will. I did sign up also for that babes group, which I know doesn't necessarily apply to us, but like as seasoned authors helping, new authors.
Yeah.
And I signed up to make like graphics and stuff if a newer author needed the graphics.
Send me the link for that group. I didn't know there was a group for that.
Yeah, and so who started it? I don't even know who started. Honestly, I just, people send me, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll join.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I will send it your way, because it was really neat, and it's called like Book Babes or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, newer authors and then more seasoned authors. And I've been writing a long time too. Anybody who has more than 3 books is considered a seasoned author. So that's you. Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
but that might be enough these days. I mean, look at how amazing your work is for 3 books. I mean, I could just talk about it all night. I had to go because my hour's up, but it's so good. I could sit here and just tell you how awesome you are all night until it's like almost uncomfortable, where you're like, okay. You're like, yes, Selena, you might be. At least that's how I understood. You know what? I'm going to post about this group. I'm going to send it to you and Selena, and maybe I'll even send it to EJ. I think she's actually in there. I don't know who sent me it, but I ended up in there. I just found out today my PA counted my books. I have 12 out, but I have more written. I just haven't published them all. Like, I took them down as publishers closed and stuff. I don't know. So I don't consider myself a seasoned author because, I used to work with authors like Bryn Pollan and Carol Lynn and that back. I don't know if you probably don't know these authors, but they have hundreds of books. Let's say it that way. So to me, I'm like, I'm not a seasoned author when in comparison.
I consider myself a new author too. I only have 3 books out. Really?
But you're so well written, and you don't write like a new author. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I would, you don't. I mean, I'm holding on to baby author status until I die. There you go.
Yes, I'm with you, Selena.
You're like, I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't write these other books. Well, I'm sure, there's new author traps that you didn't fall into. I think the old, and I've been in the industry too long that I can actually say this old saying, used to be that you write your first book and then you shove it under your bed, and then you write your second book and that's the one you publish. You never publish your first book because it's never your best work. Like these were like these old kind of things like that. But with the indie industry being the way it is now, it's just not like that anymore. So you do have authors publishing things that maybe isn't their best work, and had they just talked to somebody who could have said, hey, omniscient point of view is very hard. That's a lot of head hopping here.
Yeah.
We don't understand what's happening, or these kind of newbie mistakes, new author mistakes that are happening in the indie world. So, but I'm so excited for where it's come. So
I've been writing for a long time. I just didn't publish anything. I had a couple poems published. Yeah, when I was younger. So I think I've always liked writing. I just never thought about putting it out there. Yeah.
Were you scared the first time you did it?
I threw up when I hit publish for After Effect. I threw up.
Now, were you surprised by how well it was received?
I was shocked.
Really?
I thought, well, maybe a couple of people will read it. Yeah, I was shocked. And that first bad review always makes you cry.
Oh.
I think with every author.
I will say this for the dark romance, and those of you who might be watching this, I like that when those authors get those 1-star reviews and then they post on the dark romance group that everybody's like, oh, this is exactly the book I need to buy, because those bad reviews are like the thing they wanted the most. So maybe you should think of it that way. It's like your bad review might have actually helped you get something.
I had a different opinion. Like when Scar Tissue, I published Scar Tissue, I was nervous, but I kept checking. I'm like, I haven't got any 1-star reviews. Where's my 1-star review?
Without that 1 star, you're like, without the 1 star, how can I get the dark romance people to notice me.
Where's the 1-star review? Yeah.
The dark romance readers are like, don't show me the 5-star review. Show me the 1-star review.
1-star review. Yeah. Yeah. It did eventually get a 1-star review. I think After Effect has the most 1-star reviews, and a lot of it is because of the sharing scene. People were upset that it wasn't there, or they either liked it. There's no in between. It's yes or no. Yeah.
Oh my god. When's your next anthology?
The first collaboration I am doing is coming out in October.
Oh, okay. So I'm curious because now that I have to wait for the where can I find your stuff at until then? I guess I gotta take what I can get. So
well, I'll have because the captive romance is due to come out on the 9th, but I might move that to the 15th, so only a couple of days back. Just I'm trying to move right now too, so it's yeah.
I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
You had to, right?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, they sold the house that I'm living in, so and it's almost impossible to find a place to rent in Calgary right now. I swear everyone's looking. So yeah, that takes up a lot of my time. But
were you able to find something though?
Well, there's a few options and still looking. There's a lot, like I said, a lot of people searching. I'll find something, I'm sure, by the time. But the MC comes out July 29th.
Okay.
And that's Chase and Naomi. So it's the same world, but like a spin-off series.
Okay.
From that world.
Well, please come and tell us on Tia's Digital Tea Time when your books are coming out and where that you don't have to even ask my permission to post, just post it. My group's pretty open. Like I know other groups have I'm like I only moderate if I feel like the posts are getting excessive, which won't be with you know what I'm talking, those authors who do that. There's sometimes they just don't quite understand that they're not supposed to post the same graphic every day. I'm like, at least change it up or contribute to the group. But for you, I told EJ's got moderator status still on mine. I'm like, I tell Selena the same thing. Just post. If you guys have new books, just go and post them, because that's how I will find out. Might not catch it, and I want to read your books. So, Yeah,
I miss so many posts now. I miss reading.
You should take some time and read sometimes, So.
When I'm done the captive romance, I'm going to take a week and read a couple books. And then, finish Adversaries. Yes, RN's waiting for Adversaries.
Too nervous to post. Listen, Selena, do I seem like that person who's going to come and yell at somebody for posting on my group? Did my personality bring that? I really won't post. Don't be nervous. You're most welcome.
We need like 5 verifications. Fill it out.
You can post, Selena. But please go ahead and post, Selena. You're most welcome to post, Selena. I love you. Post your books, Selena. Yes, sir. You need a break. And Dylan, hit me up if you wanna interview.
Yes, Dylan. If do a live interview, and then maybe I'll do that drunk live you've been trying to get me to do with you.
Woo, that would be fun. I would love to see that. All right. Well, I'll let you go. I'm 10 minutes over, but I could stay on here forever, that's why I cap it. Thank you so much, Tara, for coming out and hanging out.
Thank you.
I appreciated it. I will post this. I'll download it and get it on YouTube so you can share it with your readers on your group. And because I'll get you to give me like a day to get all that uploaded. And we'll do that. And I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you guys so much who came over from Tara's group to mine just to watch this interview. Thank you for joining Tia's Digital Tea Time tonight. And I had a blast. And Tara, I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you in the writing sprints and that.
Yeah. See you there.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.